Oh, hi everyone. I'm Johnny. I was a successful banker in San Francisco. I thought I had a perfect life with a beautiful and perfect wife and the best of friends. But one day, it all fell apart. This is my story. Alright, y'all. So, The Room is a 2003 film starring Juliette Danielle, Greg Sestero, Philip Hallman, and yours truly, Tommy Wiseau. Of course, the main character, Johnny.
Hi, Danny. Anything for my princess. I'm
Now,
going
not
to.
only did Tommy star in the movie, he also produced, directed, and wrote the movie as well. And quick background on him, he immigrated to San Francisco via, um, from what I can come across, Poland. Nobody really knows when. And outside of course, this movie and some of his other acting and credits and movie credits, not much is known about what he has really done in terms of his employment or how he makes his money. Although I'm not here to count the man's pockets, but according to his own personal story, he was a server or a waiter at one point in time in the city or a busboy. He also got into some large scale real estate. He also claims, this is just his claim now, that he was a graduate of Laney College in Oakland with a degree in psychology. Now this is what he's saying. Anyways, like I said, he was a star of this movie. He also produced, directed, and wrote the movie. And maybe that's kind of why you get some lines like this.
Nice to see you, Danny. I'm going to take a nap.
Can I go upstairs too?
Now, the plot itself is quirky and really weird to say the least because there was many redrafts to this written by Tommy himself. Of course, at one point he wanted to make this an actual book, which encompassed, I believe, over 500 pages. I believe maybe even more than that. Just so many twists and turns. Yet it feels like the movie itself goes pretty much with the breeze. And when I was going through this synopsis, it was just like, it wasn't a whole lot to get down. Like the big points weren't that hard to get. You get the major, you get the plot, you get the gist of everything, right? Even though it's kind of written kind of differently. And again, this is based on Johnny's probably definitely his experience to show this is something he's never done before, and you see that. But getting into the plot, Johnny, like I said before, is a big time banker, living with his wife, well, soon to be wife, Lisa. And eventually, rather randomly out of nowhere, she just decides, or she loses interest in Johnny. And and not only does she lose interest in Johnny, she finds solace in this. Well, she finds her replacement in his best friend Mark. Now, again, she does go into kind of her reasoning behind this, and certain scenes with her mom where they kind of go back and forth as to why she's doing this. But apparently, you just kind of get a selfish motivation. It's very shallow. And you're kind of thought to kind of just automatically think that, Lisa is an asshole. She's a bitch. And, all these, negative things about her. And that's kind of how the movie, but that's just pretty much how vaguely the movie is written. She's not really given any real, backstory as to why she's feeling this way. She doesn't give you more so of a reason than I'm bored. Johnny doesn't bore me. He doesn't satisfy me. All type of stuff here. And You know, that's pretty much the point. You know, she's done with Johnny and she's cheating with Mark, his best friend, pretty much the entire time. And the climax we'll get to in just a second, only because there's so many other randomness in this movie that they put in here. You know, for one, we have this little side plot with Denny, who apparently is buying or using drugs. He gets caught up with this drug dealer. He comes up and he's asking for his money. You have those type of scenes. That's crazy. You also have even Denny coming out in a minute to Johnny himself that he has feelings for Lisa too on some weirdo stuff. But Johnny is like, hey, she likes you too as a friend, as a human being. She likes you too as a friend. As a friend, Denny. You know, you hear that. You have so many weird scenes in this movie, quirky scenes. I know the word quirky is going to be the word of the day in this segment, but just
you're my favorite customer. Thanks
just
a
the
lot.
way
Bye.
some of these scenes
Bye-bye.
were, you know, mapped out. One you had on the rooftop. Apparently, when you look into the making of the movie and you know the story behind it with the disaster artist with Greg Sestero, there's this rooftop film where I did not hit her. I did not. I didn't. I swear. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. You know, basically, you know, out of nowhere. This scene must have took 1,000 takes, 60-something takes. Of course, Tommy's not going to admit to this, but everybody else is like, dude, he could not get this right, from the inflections, from everything. Oh, hi, Mark. And just the way he is, you know, he has this very, at least in this movie here, he has this really dry sense of humor, this dry laugh that just shows up. And just this response to certain things. Like there's another scene where Mark is kind of alluding to him what's going on with Lisa, but he's using another story as a reference. And near the end of the story, he starts laughing. I'm talking about Johnny now. He goes, ha ha. What a story, Mark. And he just doesn't, like, he doesn't get things. He doesn't understand. I don't know. It's like it's lost in translation sometimes. And it's just kind of hilarious. You know, he's trying his best here. I feel Johnny is, but like I said, Lisa could confess to her mom multiple times about her infidelity. Well, not so much about her infidelity. She would, you know, confide in her infidelity with her best friend Michelle, but again, she would kind of tell her mom how she was unhappy. There is this scene where she gets Johnny drunk one night, and they're chilling and all this, and she then accuses him of hitting her. And this leads to even more, one of the funnier scenes in the movie that I love. He's had enough of it, and he goes, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." Oh my God! And he's just sitting there trying so hard to convey these acting pauses, and it's just like, oh my God, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. I felt it, but it's like, wow, bro. But eventually, of course, Johnny would discover the affair. He would eventually, you know, start, you know, recording Lisa and trying to figure out, you know, who she's, you know, seeing. And he finds out. Well, again, you have some more random scenes throughout the movie. For some reason, Tommy must be a fan of football, because you just see these random ass scenes throughout the movie of them just throwing a football around for no fucking reason. They go to the park. Let's meet up and go for a jog. Johnny meets up with Mark. They're throwing the football around. They're supposed to be getting ready for some type of wedding, I guess, rehearsal. They're in their tuxedos. Let's throw the football around outside, guys. What the fuck? You're a chicken if you don't want to do it. Cheap. Get the fuck out of here. And that chicken imitation? What is this? Cheap. No, Tommy. That's not a real chicken. That's not a real chicken, bro. I don't know what chickens do that where you come from, but I ain't never heard a chicken do that. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit off the beaten path, but eventually, of course, it all comes to a head. Lisa decides to have the surprise party for Johnny. She's, you know, like and the cold part is there's as cold as as vague as the plot is kind of for Lisa, there are kind of females who kind of fall within that into that, that kind of paradigm where like they really will use a guy till they don't need him anymore, and then kind of skirt off with the next guy. It happens, but again, it all comes to a head. Like I said, Lisa plans a surprise party for Johnny, and the party's going good and everything like that, and everybody's having a good time, and eventually Lisa will have everybody go out to the deck for a special announcement. And what happens is when everybody goes outside, they're outside chilling. Lisa decides that she's gonna start making out with Mark at the party. Like, she has no respect for the man. Again, no respect for Johnny. This is his birthday party, and she's over here making out with his best friend. Long story short, they get caught by another one of Johnny's friends, and everything comes to a head. The guys, Mark, of course, Johnny, they have a pushing match. Here comes Johnny with the cheap bullshit, and you have some more of that. Johnny has his, passive aggressive little tantrum, tells everybody to get out. He's just super depressed. And what happens is later you find, you have Johnny in the room sulking to himself. Nobody's there. And he takes the gun to his head and he shoots himself. The final scenes of the movie you see is Lisa and Mark, they do come back and find Johnny's body there. They start to kind of regret what they have done, and they try to say their last sorries to Johnny. Lisa tries to reach out to Greg one more time, well, his character Mark one more time, and tries this say, hey, now this is our time to be together. I get this. Mark is like, and I understand this, kind of weirded out by this. He's like, nah, not right now, fam. You're weird. Go on ahead with all that. I don't need to give you no dick right now. And of course, Denny is there. He's crying. Him and his crying face don't do it for me. But they had to make him cry. He over here crying. Oh, Johnny, I love you. Oh, and who is Denny? He just lives in the same apartment building as Johnny. Apparently he's been taking care of him and helping him pay through school. I don't know the relationship. Apparently Mark was living with him too. So this is all type of weirdness going on. Who's to say, what? All this stuff going on here. But that is the room. That is what happened. And now I'm going to break down really what I thought about it. No, it's not a great movie by any stretch. Could you say that it is good? I think for an attempt, I think it is. It's really weird to say, because I say this out of all due respect with what I know about movies. I've judged movies for so long in my life. You can tell that he's not a professional. But at the end of the day, he took an opportunity to try, and he did it. And it did not come out. It didn't come out great, but again, it's remembered, and I'll tell you that. And the funny thing is that over time he has gotten better in certain ways. He's gotten his acting chops up. He's gotten his producing and his directing chops up. There's recently I've come across this video online in which he was reenacting Heath Ledger's Joker, and he seemed to be pretty solid. He seemed to come a long way. I think, this is a man that had, the capabilities to do whatever he wanted to do, and he decided to do it. You cannot fault the man for doing that. He's pretty much doing what a lot of us would like to do: take our money and go ahead and make movies with it, or find set up a business. And he had those. He had a jacket. He sold clothes. He sold property. So he's had a chance to make his money. He's also had a chance to pursue what he's wanted to do, his passion. So I can't really fault him. And like I said, he's had a pretty much like a sequel to The Room called Best Friends with Greg Sestero. A pretty solid movie for what it is. If you look, if you look at it not as a Hollywood production or something that you're supposed to be getting some type of, anything like that, then I think you get it. I think this movie was a passion project through and through. Even the soundtrack itself, with some of the songs used, just seemed to really fit what was going on in the movie. I definitely think it gave it like a low, I wouldn't even say like a low budget or a low quality type of sound, like in terms of the soundtrack, but it definitely fit the era. It definitely fit a production of a independent production. Everything about it breathed independent production, and I personally don't have a problem with it. I will put it on, find some entertainment value in it. I laugh at it, and I think that's what we're supposed to do with it. You're supposed to enjoy it in some way. There's viewings all over the country where people come together. They bring spoons, they throw it at the screen. They really react positively in other ways to this movie as well. And I'm not gonna say it's a great movie or a good movie, but I'm not gonna go out there and bash it either. Again, this was what somebody decided to do with their own time, their own effort. Of course, they had a lot to learn, and I think at some point throughout their career, that's what they did, and that's what we all hope that we are able to do. So with all that being said, Tommy, good job, and I definitely think you've come a long way. And with also that being said, I plan to do the same in my field. So I definitely have nothing negative to say. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave the links available for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of Upon Further Review. And I got one more message from Johnny. If we all love each other, the world will be a better place. And I love you all as my friends and as human beings. Bye.